Hi, so this is my first test on how to do the beginning sewing, like the earliest of, hi, I've never sewed anything before, and here's how to do it. I'm going to show you here in my studio. I have a needle here. Oops, we're right there. And you have a 5-year-old in the background saying, how about me? And then I use what's called self-threading needles, which are, they are actually great for people if you're farsighted like me, or you have a hard time seeing, or just lazy. But any needle will do when we're starting. There's nothing fancy. You actually can just pick any needle. I'm a big one on not having too many rules. So what I did was I took the thread and I looped it through all the way, and now I have, let's see, I'm figuring out the camera here. There we go. Can you see that? I have two, look at my dirty fingernails. I have got two ends, and now I'm going to tie it in a little knot. Okay? And then pull it tight. Okay. See that knot? Okay. Now I have pre-cut pieces of fabric. If you don't have some, you can actually send me an email and I can send you some. I have a cutter here that makes it a lot easier. Generally, when I'm teaching my students, you want to do the same thing with hand sewing as you do with machine sewing, and that's, you want to use what's a 1/4 inch seam. So that's about this much. You don't actually have to be precise, but what I do, I usually use pencil. I don't have a pencil as I'm doing this right now. And I draw that. See, I drew that line that was a 1/4 inch from the edge. Now, I'm gonna go in, oops, getting the hang of this. Going to go in, let's tilt this down a little. One side, and then rock it back up, okay? Oh, thanks for the pencil for next time. Thanks, buddy. I got a helper here. So I can pull it all the way through till that makes a stop. So then I'm gonna do the same thing again. I'm gonna poke it in. I use my finger on the back side to find when I feel that little needle coming through, and I rock the stitch up, push it through, and there's another one. So if we're hand stitching, ideally you want your stitches to be close together, but I don't think you should hate yourself when you're beginning. So you just do what you can. Something is gonna be stronger the smaller your stitches. My stitches here are not very small, but it would work if I was doing something. Purposely used a dark thread. So maybe if I want to go a little smaller, I just come up a little earlier. You can also load up stitches. Okay, so keep going. Okay. And you can just keep doing this over and over. This time I'm loading up 3. This is called a rocking stitch. It's also called a running stitch. Rocking stitch is because I'm rocking it. Running stitch is the proper term for this like dotted line that I'm getting. Okay, so that is the very first thing. Now this, something you can do like while watching TV or whatever, because it doesn't really take a lot of concentration. You don't have to think. And when I'm actually teaching young students, I don't even have them do iron, like an iron at the end. So generally speaking, ironing is one of the most important things in sewing. Okay, so there, I've got it all the way down here. I'm going to turn this way a little bit. Let's see. Okay, now to tie a knot, I'm going to make a loop here, and the same, and I'm going to go through that loop. I usually do 2 or usually 3 times. I hold the loop open so that I can get the loop down, down, down to the very edge of the fabric. Oh geez, okay. I'm gonna lift it up to you. I have the loop as close as I can, and I use my hand to keep it close. I tug it until it's taut, and then I will trim it. Sorry. Okay. So now I have that. If I have an iron handy, that's great, and you would press it open, you would push the back fabric to the darker side so that the lighter side would not have it showing through. So I could push it this way if I was pressing it. This one, they're kind of equally bright, but you also can use your finger. It's called finger pressing. Let's see. Let me turn this. Okay, just use like your fingernail, but a hot iron will do a beautiful job. And that is how you sew one seam. You see how you can see the little 1/4 inch in the back? That's why I would do it to one side. So that would be the first piece, okay? And now I've made a square. What's fun about these squares, if I made like 25 of them, then I could arrange them in different ways to get different patterns. And that's where all the fun comes in with quilting. So that's really how you do the very, very first thing. Now, if you're one of my people that I've just sent a little kit to, you could do it by hand, or you could do the same thing by machine, which I will show you in the next video.